Okay. I think we may be live. Let me just... I don't think I've still figured out how to like play some audio in the background without my mic actually picking it up. I have been trying to do it in like this software here in OBS, but if I like play desktop audio, it... Oh, wait. Maybe if I put on... connect these and then change the source to this, and then put this on. Maybe you will hear it in some way or another. It's supposed to be just like bird songs, but I guess I will find out on replay. I will be very conservative with the volume of this, just in case it's like horrible. But yeah. So, hi, Wonder. Oh, you have a bag of chips. I didn't buy one. That's so sad. I have a bottle of the classic tap water here because I'm cheap. No bird sounds? How about now? Now it's showing on the thing that it's actually making noises. What we're playing is bird sounds from southern Bohemia, and I have chosen this 11-hour tracks specifically because at some points you can actually hear the cuckoos cuckooing, and I thought it would be like a nice background to actually have like music from the region that we're talking about. Or not music, like sounds from the region that we're talking about, and we could like imagine how it would sound like if we were peasants in southern Bohemia. Oh, hi, Melanie. And is the sound mix okay with like you hear me well while the birds are like in the background, or are they too prominent? Burbs. Yes, burbs. Welcome, everybody. I have a little like structure for this stream, just a little bit of a structure / intention of how I want this to go. There's 2 cats here in front of me on the table, so that's a good structure to start. I will read the chat in a moment. My intention / things I'm thinking about doing for this stream is firstly working on becoming comfortable streaming, because that's still a huge problem. Like last time when I was online, like 5 minutes in, I was overwhelmed by a wave of absolute suffering. Like you can't even imagine I have never felt that way before in my life. The feeling of everything is wrong, being here is like a complete mistake. I am so uncomfortable, like in my body. I like had like all the itchings and all like the discomfort. It was just, last time was horrible. So my first intention for the stream is work on becoming comfortable on stream. Maybe chat a little bit, read what you're saying. Then we will do the presentation, which will carry me absolutely through the most of this. I will probably just read what I have written on my presentation. The presentation is based on this book. It is, I will explain later, but it's basically going to be like a class style presentation when we were in school, and we would get like a book assignment and everybody would like do a short presentation for the class. That's like the extent of it. It's basically, hey class, this is what I learned from the chapter that I read. But it's going to be fun. I will probably like throw in some anecdotes and my like personal notions of what I remember. During the presentation, I will not be reading chat, because if I read the chat and respond, it will totally throw me off, but then we can have like a nice discussion about it. And then we will see, like, the options I have here is more chats. Then I wanted to paint like a self-portrait that I would use for like my profile picture on my social media. That's going to be super awkward. I have never painted myself in my life, so that could be fun. Or edit some pics, like just random stuff, or we will leave it there. So that's my plan for today. I'm reading the chat now. Background, so birds, good. Hours of Bohemian bed noises interrupted by falling pipe every once in a while. That's for the next stream. This one is completely purely nature sounds, but next time we will be for sure having some peasant sounds if I find any. Think of it as a lodge meeting. Sure, so I'll be quiet for the first hour and a half, and then when it's time to end, I will finally have something to say. That'd be great. Thank you. I'm doing so far like well. I have the presentation to carry me, so I'm like, okay, I'm not like flying completely without direction. So thank you. If everybody here is ready, namely Melanie and Troy, then I will start. I actually want to record this, because if this goes like in any way like well, I will probably just like cut up the ums and ums and like post it as a normal video on the channel. So what can I will leave chat on the other monitor so that I can like focus on being here with you while I'm presenting. And okay, you're excited, I'm excited. Let's go for it. So the presentation I have prepared for you, and as I said, it is a presentation very much class style, like, hi guys, this is what I've learned today. The presentations that I plan on doing here are just going to be really in the style, learn with me as I go. I'm not an expert on this. I have rediscovered this like hobby or interest, special interest, let's call it, with my recent birthday. I call it my midlife crisis, because besides discovering or rediscovering my interest in like my Bohemian roots, I have also discovered bird watching and the appreciation for bird sounds, and this presentation combines both. And since I actually figured out how to play sound, I do have some cuckoo calls later in this presentation. As I said, just for the recording, the presentation is based basically just on parts of this book. This book is a collection of old Bohemian legends, songs, games, customs, and like a lot of things. It's just written in a... I haven't even understood in which way it is written. It's just a collection of things that are loosely connected to each other. If you look at it, if we just randomly open, there is long text, but there is like just poems and songs with little explanation. I've opened it on The Devil's Rock, which is a poem or a song about somebody selling their soul to a devil at a special rock, which was super interesting and written very like old Czech, so it was like hard to understand. I had to read it like 2 or 3 times. And most of what was written in the part of the book that I have like read about was about the cuckoo. Does it work? Can I just scroll? Yeah. I will leave the like biological facts and like the scientific things beside, but like generally the cuckoo is like quite a medium-sized bird. I don't know if you can see, but this is exactly how big it is on your monitor. No, if you can. It's just 30 to 34 centimeters long, which in inches is divided by 2.5, like 15 inches, 13 inches, I want to say. It's quite slim. It has a long tail, pointed wings. We will see some pictures a little bit later. Most of them are gray, and their general appearance mimics hawk-like birds. And it is thought, from what I've like found out, that it is to temporarily startle the host parents to abandon their nest before they lay eggs. Some females do have a rare reddish brown color. I haven't found any specific picture that shows it, but that's the information I found. And the famous cuckoo call is actually sung by the male to attract the females of the species. And I have noted here to note that for later, because most of the legends that we have about the cuckoo are like about female cuckoos. Kukačka in Czech. Or am I? Yeah, I'm on the right slide. I thought I had a slide with the Czech names for the cuckoo, so let's just say it. Cuckoo in Czech is kukačka obecná. There is like folk names for it. That is žižulka, zezhulka, kukavka, and so on. And from like a grammatical perspective, all of these are grammatically female. And most of the legends that you will, or that I have read, I don't know if you will read them, maybe one day. Most of the legends talk about the cuckoo bird as a female. There is some legends that we will discuss a little bit later that actually explain why the cuckoo is considered only female. And however, the cuckoo call is actually sung by the males to the females. I have the songs here below in a moment. And it is very interesting also that besides the mimicry that the cuckoo has with like its own, the whole appearance, appearing as a bird of prey, based on what the cuckoo, what species was the cuckoo like fostered by when it was little, it like internalizes like the noises they make and the sounds and the behaviors, and it's also able to actually mimic that species' eggs when she lays eggs in their nest. And in the bottom here of the presentation, you can actually see some examples of cuckoo eggs next to like the species of the egg that they're parasiting, like being a parasite towards. Always on the left, the bigger one is the cuckoo egg, and the smaller ones are the egg of the other bird. I didn't bother at all with translating the names of the birds that are here. This is just a screenshot from Wikipedia, but like we're not an ornithological society, so I guess you will forgive, but like the comparison is very interesting to me. Let's see if I can play you the classical male cuckoo. Can we hear it? Yes, you can hear it. So that's the male call. Then there's something else going on. And I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure the other one was the females, but here is like a second recording where it's supposedly like 2 females and 1 male. Maybe? Yeah, the trrr is the female. Okay, very cool. let's continue with the normal sound background. Now, when we are playing the background noise, you will be able to actually distinguish the cuckoo in the myriad of other birds, which is super exciting. Here is some pictures of the cuckoo. I find the cuckoo like a super interesting bird. I actually use the cuckoo as the tower card in my tarot, and that is like with this sort of things, because that's an extremely tower moment in general. But on this picture, you can see a juvenile cuckoo still being fed by its host family. They usually put their eggs into nests of like much smaller birds than they are, and then you have situations very often like this where the cuckoo is much bigger than its host parents, and the host parent actually gets very exhausted. That's also in some of the legends that I've read. I'm not sure if I'm going to be mentioning it in the presentation, but it's also mentioned in some of the legends that the host parents like die of exhaustion from feeding the cuckoo, because it is so big and wants to eat so much, and they're unable to feed it. I'm not sure how much on that is based on reality. I haven't like read anything like that on the in any of the sources that I've looked at, but it's like an interesting legend. This is just a normal pretty picture of cuckoo. This is the cuckoo female before she lays an egg. I actually read an article the other day when I was researching this, and the cuckoo females have a highly ritualized behavior when they're like laying eggs. They always steal one egg from the host nest. They lay their own egg and they fly away with the host egg, fly like away. Even if they are seen by the host family. Is host family the correct word? If the cuckoo is a parasite, then probably the other birds are hosts. But I'll be calling them hosts because that's the word that comes to mind. Even if they're spotted by the host family. The host family, of course, defend their nest. The cuckoo will always do like their best to first take the egg and then lay her own, even if she's under attack. And there is like some videos. I actually have a link. We can watch it later after the presentation, of a video of the cuckoo laying an egg in 4 seconds because she was like spotted and she was under attack. But generally, this they call it the moment of parasitism. Happens like between like 10 or 15 seconds. It's like a very, very short process in which she manages to steal one egg, lay her own, and fly away. And it's it kind of gives me chills, to be honest. I watched that video like 10 or 15 times. It was crazy. So now the reason why we are all here, and that is, oh, I do have the list of the common names here. Well, badly formed presentation. So, as I said, the cuckoo's scientific name is kukačka obecná. Some of the folk names are žižulka, žezhulka, kukavka, and there's some more. To like the Slavic peoples in general, it is considered a sacred or holy bird. It is like one of the very repeating motifs is her ability to foretell the future, tell the fortune to their people, announce the changing of the seasons, or even predict when somebody will die, how long they will live, how many years they have left in their life. There are some historical sources cited also. Specifically in this book, he cited Prokosh's Chronicle and I'm not sure which one of the Grimms it was. I can look it up later. And Hanush, two folklorists, and also the overarching like folk belief that the cuckoo has or is the transformed vision, or like the transformed form, personification of the highest god, or like the creator god. From like what I understood from the book, there is either God with capital G, or like the older Slavic god like Svantovit, and this type, like he as like the highest god. There's both versions, like the Christian capital G god, or like the highest god as in Svantovit, who has like taken the form of the cuckoo to be able to prophesy to the people about their future, about like the harvest, whether it's going to be good or bad, marriages, deaths, how many children, and stuff like that. Because it's considered a sacred bird, of course, then harming or killing even the cuckoos was considered a great offense and like punishable. I am translating here the word hrdelní zločin, like in Czech there is like a combination, it's called hrdelní zločin, which means is a crime punishable by death. It is not, however, like stated, or it's not specifically stated that people would actually like be prosecuted and like officially sentenced to death. Okay, it is just, he writes it as hrdelní zločin. He like insinuates that if somebody harms the cuckoo, they would be like subject to being killed by their her worshippers, more or less. It's not like a law, as in punishable by death by law. It's just people would consider it something worthy of killing for, if that makes any sense. Like the most overarching theme that I have found, and also like remembered as I was reading, is the cuckoo being seen as like an oracle bird. There's a lot of stories about young boys and girls going to look out like to where the cuckoo lives and asking it questions. With young people is usually when I'm going to get married, if I'm going to get married, how long it's going to take until I get married. For married women, it would be things like, how many children will I have? Will I have children this year? Stuff like that. Farmers would ask her if the harvest will be good, if like the season will be favorable to the farm. There's also specifically named that young men would go to sacred oak groves to ask her questions and for her to like tell her fortunes. The girls would go under linden trees in gardens and in apple orchards or like meadows to ask the questions. And farmers would specifically go into the fields and on sacred cliffs. And there is even a mention of sacred cliffs to Svantovit, where she would give them answers about the harvest, if things would get expensive, if there will be like stuff going on with the crops in the fields. And even based on the number of coos, they could like find out how much like the grain would cost that year. Generally, the cuckoos return to Bohemia around April, and when they are seen as the herald of spring, like the confirmation that spring has come, and it's the time when like people would actually like expect her to come so that they can ask her their questions. There is also a legend or like a belief that during this time of April, people would always carry some coins or money with them, because they believe that if they heard the cuckoo with money in their pocket, the whole year would be blessed with happiness, money, and abundance. And on the other side, if they heard the cuckoo without any money on them, it would mean that their year would be like poor and like filled with misfortune and unluck. In some regions, namely like Plzeňsko and Kladensko, that's like on the west side of the Czech Republic. It's like near like the border with Germany. People would even like try to notice which way the cuckoo is facing when she's cooing. And if it's to the east, it means like it's like good news, you know, luck, blessings, good harvest. And when it's turned to the west, which by the way means it's turned to Germany, there was even a specific German forest mentioned, then it announces misfortune, famine, and ill harvest. I think if we debate a little bit about the east and west, you could say that it could either be, if it's facing towards like Bohemia, then it's good fortune, and if she's facing towards Germany, which it's specified in the book, okay, that it's towards Germany, that it's seen as misfortune, which like historically even like before the last 100 years, when we had like the Second World War, I think there was historically some like tensions between like the Bohemian people and all the Reichs and all like the German empires before that, like 1849. We were under Austro-Hungarian and like empire, so we were under like a different Germanic empire, but still, like there is tensions with the Germans like a lot of times. So I can imagine that generally, like in the folk belief, facing towards like the German forest would mean misfortune. On the like more occult or esoteric side, you can clearly see that when like the sun rises, that's like you know, the uplifting quality, and when it like sets, it's like night and stuff. So even that makes sense as well. If, however, the people didn't hear the Cuckoo song before the Eve of St. John, which is the 24th of June, they would take it as like a confirmation that that year the harvest would be miserable, and they were very sad about it. They would say kukačka nám to vykukala, which means basically the cuckoo cuckooed it to us, that like the harvest would be not good. So basically you have this window between April and the end of June where if you heard the cuckoo, it means like the year would be good, and if you didn't hear it, then you would prepare for like a bad harvest. Because we've talked about like divination, or like the cuckoo as a fortune teller, I have prepared a little sum up on how perhaps if you have a cuckoo somewhere in your like local nature, there's like many different species of cuckoos, how you can also practice like asking cuckoo your questions. It's based on, like, again, all the legends that are in the book and some like songs and stuff. You basically firstly go somewhere where a cuckoo lives, and you hide because you don't want to scare her. That's also based on the legend that the young men and women who would go like ask her questions, they would actually hide because it was said that she scares from like seeing a human face, and that she would run away. So they would like go and hide so that she doesn't see them. And then they ask their questions politely. It's very repeated in there. They call her dear cuckoo. Could you please tell me? It's like a very endearing, very loving language that is being used in like the asking of the question. Then, depending on what your question is and what you're expecting, if you hear a coo once, twice, or three times, that's generally considered like a good omen. If it calls out more than like 10, 15, 20 times, it could be considered a sign of distress, again, depending on the question. And if it stays silent, it is seen usually as an ill omen. For example, if you're asking if, like, I don't know, your sick parents would heal and you don't hear her at all, it's considered that the person who is sick would die before they hear the cuckoo again. There's a little like a caveat, of course. If young girls would come ask about marriage, no coos mean good news, because that means it's going to happen the same year, you know? So if no coo, it usually means the same year, so it very much depends on what you're asking about. Same thing if you're asking about how many years, because the old people would do that. If you're asking how many years do you have to live, and she coos 20 times, then it's a good omen because you have 20 years left if you're like 60. If you're 10, then 20 years is not enough. But you know what I mean? So there's nuance depending on the type of question. And in the end, when you're finished, you thank her for the fortune she has like given you. Thank you, dear cuckoo. Thank you. You've told me well, or this is a good thing you have told me, that stuff. Or of course, you may also voice your disappointment. I have also like read about people being angry with her and being like, well, that wasn't very nice of you, but they always thank her anyway. Okay, so we're polite. Thank you. But then you can tell her, I'm not happy with what you've told me. That's completely fine. So, among some miscellaneous legends that we could point out that I have read about, one of the first ones is actually trying to explain the reason why the cuckoo is only female, and that is that on the Feast of Annunciation of the Virgin Mary, all birds rested, they built no nests, except the cuckoo, who alone just kept doing her thing, building the nests, laying eggs, and as a punishment for disobedience or not observing the custom of not working, she was cursed to be forever without a male mate and without her own nests, and then that's why she has to rely on other birds' nests to actually lay her eggs and foster her children. But sis, I will return to the female thing later. Same as the book, that is not sorted in any sort of comprehensive way. It's just one legend after the other. My presentation also has no beginning or ending, and it's mishmashed. So the next belief, and I found that quite interesting because I think we've spoken about it maybe with Katarina, that in Bulgaria there is also custom that a young mother should not leave the house for the first 40 days after giving birth. Here is a legend that if a young mother, in Czech is šesti nedělka, which means 6 Sundays, which means the first 6 weeks after childbirth, she wasn't supposed to leave the house. And if she was exhausted, sleeping, or going about her other duties and not paying attention to her child, the cuckoo would sit on the roof and call as a divine reminder to remind her to mind the child, to take care of the child, to not forget about it, and to it's been seen like a divine watch, or looking after the child on God's behalf. Then one of the other origin stories tells of a girl who loved her only brother deeply, which I found disturbing, but that's what it is. And when the brother died, she cried a lot at his grave. And there's a few versions that were explained in the book. One version, God took pity on her and made her into the cuckoo bird. In another, he turns her into a flower, which in Czech is also called kukačka. And that flower, that's not the vstavač, that's a different one. That's a third version. The flower kukačka grows everywhere where her tears fell when she was crying for her brother, or she's transformed into this orchid called vstavač, which even the author is not really sure which one exactly it is. And this orchid or this flower is then every spring dug up by old and young women, or children and old women, in the belief that it marks where a dead maiden is laying, not the specific cuckoo who cried for her brother. It's very confusing. If you're confused, that's fine. I'm also confused, but that's what we learned. This is how this presentation is going. Let me return to the second paragraph, and then we will return to the general thing. The people believe that the cuckoos are only female. I think there is a part of it that grammatically the word is female, but also most of the things that we associate with the cuckoo and the behavior, like the laying eggs on somebody else's nest, is associated with the female. But there is another folk belief that basically says that they lay their eggs into a bird's nest. The egg hatches into a female cuckoo that lives its life for however long until it lays an egg into another nest. And after some years, it transforms into a male that looks like a hawk or falcon. In Czech, the bird they're speaking about is ostříž, which according to Wikipedia, is a bird called hobby, which I have no idea. I've never heard of it, but it's like from the falcon family, like hawk, like little bird of prey. And that bird then goes and actually like hunts and eats other birds. And there is like a lot of small tidbits that I didn't include in this that I remember now that I'm speaking about it. But there's a lot of like tidbits of housewives leaving like seeds and foods like outside of the chicken coop to protect the chickens from the cuckoo, thinking that the cuckoo would either drink the eggs or actually like hunt the little small chicks. It was not really connected to like this specific legend about the cuckoo transforming into a vicious male or like into this bloodthirsty male, but there is like unrelated but very like familiar tidbits that like you come across over the book, that people protect the eggs and the chickens and stuff from the cuckoo, but don't really speak about like the male. But they bribe her so that she's like happy and she like goes does her thing. And I wanted to end on this because this is like my I'm surmising like the part that she's seen as a guardian or a tattletale. It is because first there are legends of people, if they're like doing stuff, traveling, going to work, or like going about their day with good intention, and they hear a cuckoo, it is like a confirmation that whatever they are traveling or like going about doing is going to be successful. But if another person is going about their day, traveling with like ill intentions or like for crime or for like bad stuff, hearing the cuckoo like was seen that they might as well return home, because the cuckoo will tell on them to whoever they wanted to do like their like evil to. Another legend says that she would like guard not specifically the cattle, like as in like I'm guarding the cows, but like the field where the cattle were like grazing from people who would go and just like do stuff, damage the field, pluck flowers or grass or whatever. Usually young people, usually like kids. And when like these kids would go in the fields to do their like childish mischief, the cuckoo was believed she would go and like tell on them to the farmer. And when the kids heard a cuckoo when they were like doing their mischief, they would actually like run away so that they wouldn't be found, because like the cuckoo would tell on them. Or they would like ask her to like tell them where she keeps the secret, and then when she like flew away to like go like show them where her secret is, they would follow her, but with like this act they would distract her from the fact that she needed to go tell on them to the farmer. So, and I think this is like end of the presentation. However, I wanted to touch on also a little bit on like the grammar and some of the words that are actually stemming from the name of kukačka. We have like multiple, I'm pretty sure I included it somewhere, but probably in just my notes. However, I remember. We have several verbs that stem from the word for kukačka, which is nakukat, vykukat. And nakukat means to tell somebody something that is not completely true. I'm not sure the exact English word for it, but it basically means, to gaslight somebody, or like to tell them like not completely a lie, but to make them believe something that like they're like that's not true. Usually children, like it happens to children that somebody like tells them that, I don't know, there is Santa, stuff like that. It's not like serious lying when you're saying to nakukat something. It's just like, pull wool over somebody's head. And then is vykukat, which means to telltale, to basically go tell on somebody, to spill secrets, stuff like that. And I find it very, very like interesting that we have these two verbs that are either about like lying or telling untruths, or like tattletaling. And there was a third one that I maybe have in my notes. Vykukat, nakukat. Wait, I have a long document here that I made. No, I can't remember. However, this is my presentation of the Cuckoo. I'm now ready to read all your chats here, and we can have a little discussion. I can see I have already missed so much. Okay. Good luck and encouragement for this presentation. That seemed to stress you out. Thank you. I actually, when I have the PowerPoint, I'm actually like really good. I feel great. I hope you liked it as well. I'm actually stoked to make another one. Love how the devil keeps popping up today. He keeps popping up every day. You know, the devil is everywhere. You always have to be mindful and careful, you know. Yeah, the egg color is, to be honest, absolutely a fascinating thing. And those are just like some of the possibilities that you can have. These are like just random ones, but they basically mimic almost like every species that they parasite on. Folk name here is rain crow. Hearing them is supposed to predict thunderstorms. Interesting. Oh, I think there is one here as well that I because that was just like a one sentence thing. Here it is. I will read it in Czech and then I will loosely translate, okay? Když před kukáním kukačka vzkřikne kvavava, kuku, aneb v letu patoky, kuku, tím prý hospodářům zvěstuje, že silná bouřka s deštěm buď ten nebo druhý den nastane. And it basically means if before cooing or cuckooing, the cuckoo screams kvavava, kuku, which is like the word for the sound. I don't know, that's untranslatable. Or if she flies and like screams patoky, kuku, which again is like, is it an interjection? The word for like the words that are just sounds. Through that, she tells the farmers that like a powerful storm with rain, either this or the next day will come, is the translation. So it's very interesting that even across the world you have similar folklore with the cuckoos as we do have. And yes, the cuckoo noise comes from only males. We can play it later in a minute also. This bird is very bad omen in Estonia, especially during spring. It is believed that birds migrate to the underworld for wintertime. When they come back, they carry a very dangerous death energy. Wonder, is it like these birds that migrate to the underworld, or generally all the migratory birds migrate to the underworld? And the cuckoo bird carries worst of these energies. Well, she is a liar and a tattletale. So Melanie says, Vance Randolph, our big Ozark folklorist, says that most believe the rain crow lays its egg in other birds' nests as the cowbird does, our big parasite. This belief seems very odd since any sharp-eyed country boy can find the rain crow sitting on its nest. I looked it up, and apparently our yellow-billed cuckoo is only occasionally parasitic. Maybe it was a folk memory from Europe. I think that's completely possible. I think we spoke about where the our locals like migrated to over there, but I'm not sure which like nation is most often in, or like most prolific in the Ozarks. But it's pretty possible that like these folk beliefs carry and like change and migrate over time. Joanna says, gotta love historical tea and drama. Yes, I will try to find some more in my later presentations. I've even, I almost said while scrolling this book, can you believe it? But while just like leafing through the book, I already found stuff about like other birds and things. So I'm very excited to like teach myself and like share with all of you stuff like this. Is it an actual flower? Because in Estonia, the cuckoo bird is tied to the aconite plant, literally called cuckoo's shoe. I am pretty sure that in my very loose research about this plant, because I didn't like look it up too much, I have to be transparent and honest, but there is actually, what did I do? Let me just firstly just return all this. We can stop here. I think I found like a wiki page. Oh, vstavač kukačka. So it's basically it's still the orchid. It's the same thing. I just was confused. And it's the vstavač plant as well. But, oh, are you seeing this? Are you even seeing this? Yes, you are. Perfection. So this is vstavač kukačka, which is apparently both of the plants that I was talking about. But I also found like pictures of something that looked like the saponaria plant. But that was maybe just... However, as long as we're here, before I read, or I will read the other comments, but I wanted to show you the video of the ritualized lay egging or egg laying. So, is it actual flower? The thunderstorm prediction appears to be based in science. Our cuckoo does make a lot of noise in hot and humid days that are perfect for thunderstorms. I can like, for sure, most of these like folk legends are to some degree or another always based in some sort of truth. So for sure, and like even here where we don't have like the super humid and hot weather that maybe you have, but of course when it's hot and humid in here, the likelihood of having storms is like much higher, and the birds generally screech like much more than normal. I love that the thunderstorm showed up in Bohemian Folklore. I also love it. I love like finding these little connected pieces of lore, because then that's basically science, okay? You find two anecdotes from completely different parts of the world, and when they match, you have like facts, you know? All birds go to the underworld. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I have no idea what I will read about this in this book or like the 15 other ones that I have at my bedside table, but I will share if I find something this sinister as well. But like even from like memories, I don't think I have even like a vaguest memory or like a notion that this is something that I've heard like here in like the Bohemian folklore. So anywho, are you ready? Are you ready? This is the cuckoo. This is the like host birds attacking it. She steals the egg and she manages to lay her own, and she's gone, and it takes 4 seconds. And that's amazing. I will play it for you one more time because it's 14 seconds. I'm not sure if anybody's interested, but I have run across the birds coming from the underworld in the spring, but not in an ominous way. Okay. And do you remember where? Or like which sort of folklore we're talking about? I will stop sharing screens and I will share myself so that I can now look at you here and not turn everywhere. I remember where exactly I will look. It is in my Moravian and Slovakian research. Okay. Okay. That means I might come across it as well in my research. Yeah, it's a very bad thing in Estonia. Most birds have a negative effect in spring. And Melanie, okay, let's do a battle royale here of research. You have heard that birds coming from the underworld in spring is a thing in like Moravian, Slovakian folklore. Is it also like have you also heard about it having like a negative effect in spring for the countryside or something? I do a pastry thing that is about their return and it's positive. I think so too. Like generally here as well, I would say that like everything about the birds returning is like something to be celebrated. And even with the cuckoo, even like the more like negative things, everybody like is expecting her and like looking forward to seeing her because it like heralds the spring, you know. And then it's maybe it is a little bit of a story similar to Persephone, you know, like the return from the underworld, but it's basically a positive thing because she returns. So like Demetra makes the earth like fertile again, you know. Always a good positive, returning ancestors. Yeah, yeah. But we will have some negative birds in some of the later presentations. I'm pretty sure I have seen stuff about like in English is little owl, apparently based on Wikipedia, which is Athena. Like it's a type of owl. It's supposedly sacred to Athena. But over here, it also has its own verbs, meaning like to talk negatively or like to be sičkovat, which means to like be pessimistic and to like say that everything will go wrong, you know. Yeah, I get a positive sort of vibe, Persephone sort of vibe for the crops. Yeah, yeah. I would be very interested, Wonder, if you could point me to some more literature or like an article or something, not too extensive because I have a reading list longer than I could possibly read, but like something just a little bit where I could explore the negativity and the underworld of the birds. It's very strange. Could it possibly be like you're farther north than us, so your spring would be a little bit later? Could it be like maybe that the birds return a little bit later to Estonia and it is maybe like has been connected to, like in the people's head with, for example, like the bad April weather and stuff, that there is maybe like a correlation that the birds return and the weather's gone sour? In Polish lore, birds return from Virai in spring and it's a happy occasion. We also make cakes for storks. Beautiful. Wonder says, there's sadly like no info about this in English, save for my amazing new book. Oh, right. Interesting. We have an amazing new book about Estonian folklore coming out. If anybody's interested. I will try to find it. I remember that the Slovakian person on the panel you did also mentioned the bird pastries and that it was very positive and good for the crops. Like that's exactly what I remember. I'm not sure. Like I'm unsure about the underworlds or otherworld, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. But like the general vibe of everything is like super positive always. It's a completion of the cycle of reincarnation. They bring back souls from the other worlds to reincarnate back to the family. Oh, that's beautiful. That makes sense. But I guess that's towards like the Polish folklore, not the negative part of Estonia that I'm flabbergasted about a little bit. Vondra says, the souls of the ancestors were believed to leave their bodies in the shape of birds. They flew to the underworld following the Milky Way, literally called Bird's Path in Estonia. Melanie says, yes, what Joanna says is what sounds familiar to me from my Moravian research. What Joanna says also sounds like rings familiar, or like something that is like... I have a thought. Okay, I'll read Vonder's message, but I have a thought. But that's pretty much the only connection between birds and the ancestral souls. Oh, the souls of the ancestors believe to leave their bodies in the shape of birds. They flew to the underworld following the Milky Way. That's pretty much the only connection between birds and ancestral souls. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. I just had a thought, because one of the notes that I have for this stream is to talk about my midlife crisis and my this new special interest. But what I have like found so far in terms of like feelings is that no feelings. I don't know. It's not like feelings as in emotions, but like feeling as in notions, more or less. And that is that even if I have actually like never really like formally studied this or like formally researched this as I'm planning to do now, like a lot of these things that I have like read even in this book and some of the songs and some of the poems are like familiar to me in some sort of a way that I'm not really sure if I can say that I have like come across them personally, but there is something like in my like gut or in my like bones or like in my like person that finds a lot of like these words like deeply familiar, like a deja vu, you know? Like there is this game, okay, that's still part of the Cuckoo part. I didn't include it in the presentation, but it's basically a version of a hide and seek game where they choose like who is the cuckoo, who is like who are the cuckoos, who goes and like looks for them, and there is this rhyme that they use to actually select the kids, which in Czech reads: jeden, dva, tři, my jsme bratři, handrliky, dva špalíky, ťuky, kuky, ven. I'm pretty sure I have played this game when I was a child because I like know this rhyme. I don't remember like the game going as he describes it in his book. Also, like the game he describes is like 200 years old, but I remember like for example, the rhyme, and even when Joanna says the stuff about like making the cakes, I'm pretty sure I've come across that like in my life. But like the completion of the cycle of reincarnation and like them bringing back it. There is something about it that like reads true, or like reads like deja vu, reads like something that just is familiar. I don't know how to explain it. I hope it makes sense to you people. But then in spring, when the birds come back, they carry this death energy, and if you don't eat before they leave the house, before leaving the house, they will have a negative effect on you. Like you will dry up, die, get lice. I don't know what's worse, if dying or getting lice. Or you will occasionally bring disease to your cattle, bring danger to your village, get diarrhea, or other horrible things like these. And this all depends on what birds call you here. Well, that sounds horrible. That makes like going outside of your house in spring like a minefield, because they're everywhere. Even today, I spoke to my colleague at work about this, that like in the spring, because we have been listening to this track the whole day yesterday, like in the office, and we were speaking about it, that you can like know that there is spring when like one day you wake up and there is like a bird screaming outside your house, and that it's like even like this little thing is a joyous occasion because you know the spring has come. Your midlife crisis is providing me with a new English-speaking primary research folklore source. I approve. I'm happy to share my research with you and translate as much as I can and am able. Woohoo, midlife crisis hobbies. You have no idea. I have now a folder, okay, on my Google Drive with downloaded bird sounds. At this moment, there is like 50, but that's just because I had to stop at one point and do other things. It's not because like it's exhaustive by any means. But I started with like downloading the cuckoo sounds, and then it was, oh, well, there is this bird. Oh, wow, there's this bird, and I've heard about this bird, and I've seen this bird is in this book, so I might as well download that sound. And now I have a collection of like animal sounds, and bird sounds specifically. So. Love hearing you speak Czech. I could read you in Czech. I have a book. No, but like some of these are so beautiful. I could read you. You could understand actually, right? I could read you the one with the Devil's Rock, where this guy does a deal with the devil. You would love that one. I could not translate it though, because I had so hard, like it was so hard for me to understand, as it like it's in old Czech. But I could read it to you if you want. But never fear, if you hear a cuckoo bird call in spring in Estonia before you have eaten and worry you will dry up and die, you can just go and bite a rowan tree and it will die instead of you. Oh, that's so cruel. I will find my bird pastries and tag you on Insta. Please do. Now I think they're associated with Easter, but on the panel that you did with Joanna, the Slovakian person tied it to pre-Christian beliefs. It's possible, and I'm pretty sure I've even seen like one of your posts on the bird pastries, because it's been recently that I've seen bird pastries, and it's basically just you that I follow, so maybe I've already seen it. I have a hot take. What if the reason Estonia is so atheistic is the direct outcome of their folklore being so dark and hopeless? Is that a hot take, or is it just like a take? Like lukewarm? That in Russia. I don't know. Maybe it's both. Maybe the folklore is dark and hopeless because Estonia is just so close to Russia. Always like the Damocles' sword hovering over Estonia. In the meanwhile, I will find the poem about the devil for Joanna. And if she says she wants it, I will read it to her slowly. literally, haha, for sure. Like, I think most of, and this is also like a hot, unprepared take. This is partly a joke, but I think like most of like the eastern to like the eastern part of Europe, like from the north to the south, like the eastern, like the former like Eastern Bloc and stuff, they are like coping with the threat of Russia in very different ways. I would even say that the Polish are so religious because they hope God will save them from Russia. We are also atheistic because Russia brought atheism here. Because like during the communist time, religion was not it. You know, you weren't allowed to be religious because like the only thing that mattered was the state. Like what God? Does he have a 5-year plan? He doesn't. So like why do you talk about God? He's not going to feed you. It's like the regime that's going to feed you. And then, you know, well. Do you have any folklore about the Eurasian Hoopoe, Hoopoe epops, in your region? This is probably the worst bird. I will look it up because I have no idea what it is in English. Oh, dudek! Oh, dude. It's all positive. That's a great bird. I love it. Wait, I did it for 10 of Wands, but I will look in this book whether he has it. Dudek is great. Let me just show everybody. Look, it's just the perfect bird. One thing that I have about this book that I don't like, and that is it doesn't have an index. Its table of content is basically these 300 pages are what this book is about, and then there's just like the ending, and that's all. Here is one that I found, and that is that the Hoopoe, or whatever the name of the bird is in English, married a sojka, and a sojka is sojka is in English a jay, Eurasian jay. So a marriage of these two happened in this legend. And if you want, I will read it to you because it's quite long, but you can live through it. And Joanna loves me reading, so I'll read this, and then I will read her the devil story. Dudkova, čili sojčí svatba. Vím tě, ptáka jednoho, Dudek se jmenuje, který ženit se chtěl, sojku si brát bude. I will translate like maybe part by part, okay, so that we don't get lost. I know one bird, his name is Hoopoe, who wanted to get married, and the word here is ženit, which means when a man marries a woman, okay? It's not like a general marriage, it's like he wanted to marry her. He will marry a jay. Na tu svatbu veselou jest mnoho pozvaných, též od rozličného ptactva velkých, také malých. To this merry wedding, there is a lot of invitees from various birds, big but also small. Ten zlatožlutý strnat byl tě prý za družbu a ušlechtilý havran zval hostě na svatbu. The golden yellow sternat, which is a bird type, which I will maybe translate later, went as a witness, and the noble rook invited the guest to the wedding. Křepelka za družičku, jenž při věnci byla, well, basically, it's a very nice poem about a wedding of birds. Okay. So I don't know there's nothing negative about it. Well, let's see, okay. Křepelka za družičku, jenž při věnci byla, která sojku nevěstu do kostela vedla. Křepelka is quail, I think. The quail went as like a maid of honor. She went as a maid of honor. She brought the Jay bride into the church. Jestřáb byl za pastýře, havran za kaplana, když jsou byly oddány, šly všecky z kostela. One type of bird of prey was pastýř, a shepherd. The rook went as the pastor, and when they were married, everybody left the church. Krkavec za kuchaře, tento oběd strojil, však ho dobře poznáte, neb se dost začernil. The raven went as a cook, he prepared the lunch, and you will like recognize him very well because he blackened himself. Slavík dělal muziku, když po jídle bylo, což zde bylo od ptactva, všecko tancovalo. Slavík is one of like the most known songbird. He was doing the music when the food was done, which was here from the birds. Everybody danced. Unavila se sojka, spáti se jí chtělo, hned ušlechtilá síkorka postelí ustala. The bride jay was tired, she wanted to sleep, and then the noble síkorka, again another type of bird, made her a bed. Mnohovážený špaček, teď sojku na spánek, opovážlivý vrabec přines noční hrnec. The honorable špaček, again like a little type of bird, brought the jay to sleep. The cheeky vrabec, again another like small type of bird, brought her like the night like the oh my god, it's the thing that people pee in the night, you know, in like cottages, just like I don't know how to say it in English now, but you know, just the thing people pee into in the night in cottages when they don't have toilets. Když se ku spaní brala, do postele lehla a s velkou radostí dudečka čekala. When she prepared for sleeping, she lay down in the bed with great joy. She expected her husband, you know, the Hoopoe. The wedding was done. I'm already translating. Svatba se dokonala, píseň tu zavírám. Nebož jsem přítomen byl, pravdu vám povídám. Což se už roku stalo, až podnes stává, když dudek sojce přijde, svatba je hotová. The wedding has happened. I'm ending this song here. Because I was there, I'm telling the truth. It happened like already a year ago. What happened a year ago to this day happens when the hoopoe comes to the jay. The wedding is done. That's the folk song about the bird Wonder asked. So it's like a lovely song about all the birds coming to a wedding between two other birds. It's literally called Sadness Cuckoo Bird in Estonia. Well, ours is married, so he's happy. I had books with no index and shitty content pages. Preach. Like, to find something specific in this is impossible. You just have to like scroll through it. Kinda side-eyeing Albert's herbal book. No, we won't tell him. We won't tell him, okay? Dudek, hehe, exactly. We love Dudek. Dudek is great and they're so cute also. Dudek sound very familiar, like I have run across it, but it is not translating. Oh, we don't have this bird in North America. Chamberpot, yes, chamberpot, exactly. And Dudek, I think I've shown you here. I will show you in English. Look, they're just the prettiest bird. Getting married every year. But no, you don't have them. They're like just here. But do you have a different one? Hoopoes. Asia, Africa, Europe. So not at all in North America. Seemingly. I'm sorry. You're missing out. Oh, and let's read the devil story for Joanna. I will do my best, okay, to translate, like, loosely what's going on. I will for sure not be able to translate it word for word because it includes a lot of, like, old-timey words, okay? And I will, like, read a little bit, then translate a little bit, and, oh, on St. Matthew's Day, there is a bird wedding in something I found in Morava, a certain village. I would have refreshed my memory. Bird wedding, actually, it's this poem is also, like, not the first mention of a bird wedding that I have come across, like, in general. Again, bird wedding is something that is, like, again, familiar in that, like, strange kind of way. But it's also interesting how different these beliefs are. I mean, in Estonia, it's not a European language. It's Finno-Ugric. So maybe we just didn't care for y'all Slavic and European people. Maybe. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't. Okay. I hope Joanna is still here. Okay, because I will read it for her. I will record this and I will send it to her if she's not here. Because I'm doing this just for her. Čertova skála. Pod Týřovem hradem pustým, bystré proudy mže valí, avšak vůkol lesem hustým trčí divé ouskalí. Hodu neschod lidu věští, holostrmý kouřinec. Na mor hýká, na neštěstí kuhan, noční hlasivec. Aj tu na břehu u své chýše sedl plavec unavený. Nerudu zlověžce slyše, v proud hledí zarmoucený. Šedotemně se pláň vodná, čujíc vichr krabatí, tak i plavcova nerudná mysl se jeřabatí. Nepač ostrý jisa strastí s lítým živlem válčit zná, však již ustavlých náplastí nával sílu přemáhá. Skorliš mi klid zavítá, zhyň pekelná robota. A když nebe nedbá, lítá, přispěj a z pekel rota. Okay. Loose translation of the first part is that under Týřov, which is a castle like that is old and abandoned already, there is this river called the Mže. This is about a specific place, this Devil's Rock, which is this thing. It's about a specific place. There is this river, and there is somebody like swimming through the river, and he's like huffing and puffing and like very, very unhappy. And he gets it's plavec, okay? That means somebody who is swimming, but also this swimmer like returns to his own like cottage at the shore, and he looks like all sad at the water. And it seems like there's going to be a storm, and his mind like goes into a very like bad place, okay? Like loosely translated. And although he's like strong and like worldly or like strengthened by life, I guess, like, you know, when people like have a lot of experiences, so they're like wary, but like it makes them stronger. He doesn't want to battle the elements anymore with this like perhaps coming storm or something, and he tries to like overcome this feeling of exhaustion, and he says, when am I going to have a little peace? Die this like hellish work. If the sky doesn't like care, like let hell like put a little bit into this piece, I guess. And now we continue. To slyší duch ducholový, arcivrah, on kramperák, duše lapit vždy hotový, jako rybář ryby vsak. Stane před ním v nedojepě, kloudný jako mládenec, V zelený šat oděn lepě, z vrchu krásný kredens. Coť holátko srdce svírá. Dí naň oulisnou řečí. And now when this person is like, when the fuck am I going to have peace? A spirit hears him, an arch murderer. He, Kramperák, which is the name of the spirit. It's written in capital R. I will write it into the chat. For people who might be interested in the name of this devil. Okay, that's the name of this devil in chat. He hears him, always ready to catch some souls like a fisherman fishes in a net. He stands before him in the form of like a young, handsome man dressed in green clothes. Like green, very, very like nice, noble clothes, with like a beautiful, like some sort of hat on his head. And he asks him, what does hold your heart, little birdling, I guess, is the holátko is the name for like the birds that don't even have feathers yet. Okay, that's what he calls him. And srdce svírá, it's what we say like when your heart is like it's like when you're anxious, I guess. Dí naň oulisnou řeč, and he like says it in like a sweet voice. Ké to břemě tě potírá, nad lehčím ti nebezpečí. A muž kosem naň podhlíží a prořekne na polo. Kéž by sňal mi z beder tíží a tím padl vrahu v kolo. So he asks him sweetly, what burdens do you carry? I will lessen your dangers. And the man looks at him sideways a little bit, and the word they use is prořekne, which means like when you say something you're not supposed to, or like when you like say a secret when you're not supposed to, like when you say something and you like catch yourself and you're not supposed to say. I'm not sure how the English word is. And he like half prořekne, so like half says this. I wish you would take the heaviness from my shoulders. And that's what he says, and then it continues. And with this, he like fell to the murderer. And then he continues. Z rána po večer klopotně teď trudím se s přívozem, hůř tahouna, jež to psotně jazykem plazí o zem, a jaká kde kinečáka. Jako kdo na dno klene, chvílku nese vír chudáka, tuž tůň ho pochlodne, ní však od sebe dbám hrubě, což to počne dcera má, jišť u božka na té době, kdo jí ruky podá. And he, like, the guy explains the situation, that he basically toils with this barge across the river, bringing people there and back, and that he's like very tired from his like. He says that his tongue is like on the ground, like from, you know, how hard his work is, and what does he get? What does he get for it? He's like at the bottom, like at some the river does not cooperate at all, because like there is it just doesn't help him. He like tries to take care of himself, but what of his daughter? She's like the poor thing. Who would like take her hand in this day and age? And we continue. Hezkáť, ptá se ulízavec, on šibalský záletník. To věřím, odepře plavec, mohl by jí vzít ouředník. Což kdybych já o ní říkal, a sám hojné věno dal. I vem si ji třeba hýkal, když ji jedno dobře vdal. And the devil asks, is she pretty? Because he's like, šibalský záletník, which means basically like a Don Juan seller, like, guy who likes women. I believe so, says the man. Even a bureaucrat could marry her. And the devil replies, what if I asked for her? And also gave a rich dowry as well. And the guy says, let Hikal, I have to translate this. This is like a folkloric creature. And that's interesting to everybody. Hikal anglicky. Oh, like a howler. Okay. It's Hikal is like a spirit that we have like in Czech folklore. I'm not like an expert in Hikals, but basically they like are in the woods and they scream, and the name is Hikal. You know, that's from like this sort of sound, and they're like said to be like ugly and just like screeching in the wood and scaring people. It's like a ghost, not ghost, but like it's a scary type of creature, basically scaring people in the woods. Okay, so the guy says, let even this Hikal take her, if I just could like marry her well. And tak, we continue in Czech. Co však vedeš, opět plavec, ať je ale znám, kdo můj zeď. Není jenom jeden méně než správec, řemesel znám kolik set. Toť chudák, ba chudožestník, rozumíš-li výslovním, nebřídním, co nepočestník a splním, co připovím. Hereš, buď ta dívka moje, tak naléhá pekelník, skončena dnes psota tvoje, od té doby spancelník. And the guy, like he says, you know, let even the Hikal take her if like she married well. And he then says, what do you lead? What sort of work do you do? He asks the devil, so that I know who my not brother-in-law, you know, like like son-in-law, what my son-in-law is. I am not less than správce. I'm not less than like some sort of thing, but the point is he knows many arts and artisans, like crafts, many arts and crafts, like a few hundred of arts and crafts. And the guy says, well, then you're what a poor man you are, because if you like understand so many things, you understand so many things. I wouldn't be like an unfair person to now deny you my daughter. I promised. Then like she's yours, and then the devil says hereš, which I don't know what it means, and it's like he like screams it. It sounds like heresy to me, but I'm not sure what the word means. It's like old Czech. Let the girl be mine. So insists the devil, your toil and ordeal is over. From now on, you will be Mr. like celník. Those who like collect tolls, for example, on bridges, or collect like today they would collect tariffs, but you know, like that sort of guy. You know, from now on, you will be this. You will collect. Continue in Czech. Clo budeš vybírat hojné, bez péče a klopoty. Klenutí zde stane strojné, most předivné lepoty. Přes tu řeku, když to bude, dřív než koura zapěje, věruliš pak u všech všude, uvidíš, co se zděje. You will collect these tolls, like many, without like care or like hardship, a beautiful bridge will like stand here. Like opulent bridge will stand here, and the guy asks, over this river, and when is this going to be? And the devil says, before the rooster crows. And from he takes a feather from his hat, and he says, "Ale zapiš se mi," meaning, but you will like you sign yourself for me. Tou měrou provdána, scero, prodána hluk podzemí a zlý host podrastě druhá pero namočí krví a tomu ruku veda stuha šilhá naň spodobrví. Podepsáno. List pochytna schová ženík v toboli a smích běsný jak ze sitna vychřící zahlaholí. But you will sign yourself. And then the guy says, this way you will be wed, daughter. And the devil says, sold. And there is like a nice like language thing, because the guy says provdána, which means like wed, and the sold in Czech is prodána. So there is like a tiny difference in like one letter in what these two guys said. But like one says, oh, she's now you're wed, my daughter, and the devil says sold. And under the ground there's like a ruckus under the ground, and the evil guest takes the hand of the guy, he dips it in blood, and the devil himself leads the hand of the guy to like sign his name. And the guy just like looks at the devil like with cross eyes. Signed. The paper, the groom will like hides the paper in like some sort of sack and laughs maniacally, like from Sitno, which is a place, like when a storm like goes from Sitno. Tak. A rarach se větrem řítí a rve rázným ramenem doubí, skálí a co chytí, razí kamen kamenem a jak chvátá skály mece, v proud sykotný, skypělý oblouk za obloukem v řece zdí se jako z oceli. Then Radak, which is another like type of mythological creature, it's like a tiny devil, like it's not like a devil, but it's like a mischievous little devil, like not an elf, but like devilish creature. So this Radak goes with the wind, and with like a firm hand like beats stones and rocks and like everything, like I don't know, it's very strange, but it seems to me that he's basically like, the Rarach is going there, like holding on to things while he's flying to there, but as he does it, like arch by arch, a bridge is built in this river, like from steel. We're almost finished. A hned přes polovu řeky spěje pyšná budova, uchvacující duši leky, trne duše plavcova. Břeh se pod ním podtrhuje, běda, to spekel zlý host, vlasy z hlavy syruje, jež horve zoufalost. Přispějvíte, chraňmé robě, a i tu na čele lodi nejpilnější platné době, kohout se mul nahodí. Muž lapiv ho vzhůru vrhne a kůr hlásně zapěje. Toť sebou děs zděšen trhne, aniž most nedospěje. So, and when the guy sees like the devil in the form of this Rarach, he like his soul turns to stone a little bit, because he realizes in this moment what he has done, what sort of sail he made, and as he stands there, the riverbank is like starting to change, and he screams like, "Oh, this is from like the hell's evil guest." He like tears out his hair, and he's like desperate. And then he asks Saint Vitus, is if it's the English name. Svatý Vít is the Czech one, but probably Saint Vitus. I will look it up maybe later. And he asks Saint Vitus to like protect his child. And in that moment, in the like the front of his little barge that he uses, in the like most fortuitous time, his rooster like finds himself there, and he catches the rooster. And as you remember, the bridge was supposed to stand before the next time the rooster crows, and the guy catches the rooster. He like, I don't know, like shakes him a little bit or like puts him up or something, and the rooster crows. And in that moment, the devil like is scared. He's like startled that that he hears the rooster crow, and realizes that he cannot will not manage to finish the bridge because like the rooster is crowing. And so he like mumbles, "To tvé štěstí, ale této mé tuhé, chovej se nedutlé pěsti, stihni-li tě podruhé. Tak zařve strašným hukem, do řeky se mostrune, běst poslední spoustu cukem, na břeh skalný vysune. Posud Čertovační skála, na paměť pozděrodým, kdo jí zří, vyhýbá se zdála a dá výhost duchům zlým." And he says, "It's your luck, but like I'm like very like, I don't forget things. Beware. You will not have the same luck again like twice." And then he screams, and the pieces of the bridge that have been built fall down into the river. And with the last falling piece, a huge rock like comes out above the river. And this is called the Devil's Rock, and it's there to like remind people, that this happened, and everybody who sees it from afar like takes care to just like go well around it, because they don't want to meet the evil spirits. And this is this little story about the devil. It's a great story. Oh lol. This is so fun. I forgot I started a tea with my mountain mint and elderflower right before it started for my congestion. You made me forget I'm sick. Oh, I'm so happy that I did. Oh, that's lovely. I'm having so much fun also. This is great. We should do it every week. The story is also very great, and it helped me a lot to actually have to read it and translate it to English, because I'm having like new understandings that I didn't have a couple of days ago. Note on the bird wedding on St. Matthew's Day, I realized I was not clear. My source is from a book of Znojmo folklore where my people were from, and he says Chod region of Bohemia and South Moravia. What is the name of the little devil? It's the Kramperák, or you mean Rarach? I'll write you the name of the creatures that we mentioned. Hikal is the forest one. That's like a nice creature. And Rarach, so that you can Google it, is like a little devil thing. Trickster. We call little children when they're being mischievous, we call them rarašci, like even smaller little devils. If you want to go visit that Devil Rock, we could probably even surmise where it is, and I will. Okay, Čertova skála pod Týřovem. Oh, it has its own Wikipedia page. I will send you. It's a Czech Wikipedia page, but it has a picture. Oh, let me share. Okay, let me share. Can you see? These are supposedly like the pillars of the bridge that was built by the devil. This is the rock over here. And on the map, how can I just make this bigger? Okay. It is here. Baronke. Oh, now you see all my little notes, which maybe not. Time for a lodge field trip. Oh, for sure, for sure. And it's apparently just like a very short way from Prague, so that could be like a half-day trip to go see. Rarach. Wait. We could probably... Apparently, Rarog is also... I always knew it as Rarach. Yeah, this is something that you would... Yeah, they mean like little toys of Rarachs. They look like modern times. How people do fairies in like movies, or like movie. Like the latest Hollywood movie. I've seen a fairy like this in some sort of like quite recent something. Oh, this Harry Potter, of course. I think I have research I did in Hikal on my Tumblr. Estonia has one too. Rarach is a new one for me. Well, then, welcome. Yes, to a field trip. I wish. Too expensive. Well, maybe like at some point, someday, we could do something, you know. Okay. I do a lot of armchair traveling around Central Europe. Do you have I have found on like Czech national television a series of like I don't know, documentary programs, I guess they did on like local traditions, and it's basically the people from the TV going to like different places in the Czech Republic and asking like the local artisans and stuff about their work, and they show their work, but it's all like in Czech, and I'm pretty sure there is no English captions, but I could send you the link to this series. I'm pretty sure with a VPN you could watch it. Is like online for free on like the Czech TV website. We have a lot of devil rock all over Poland, so it's fascinating to me to know that they're in neighboring countries for sure. And I'm pretty sure this is not the only one that I know of. We could actually do more research. Maybe I will find like more about like more devil rocks. But I know that here in Vyšehrad, There is like a formation of like rocks that look like three fingers, and there is also legend about it that a monk made a bet with a devil that the devil could, and I think it's maybe connected to like the Voynich manuscript or something, that the devil could write a book in a day or something like that. And the devil, of course, lost the bet, and that's why the stones are there. I'm not very sure. It's like a vague memory because it's been years since I've heard it. But we have like a lot of devil's rocks as well, even in Prague as well. Same for rocks of Mary or certain saints, of course. We have Devil's Den here in the Ozarks, mix of rocks and small caves. And these rocks are often glacial erratics, which are rocks that were carried by the glaciers in the Ice Age. Yeah, same in Estonia. These glacial rocks are super sacred. So it makes sense that folks see them as supernatural and not belonging to the terrain where they are, of course. Yeah. Like, there's a ton of, like, devil's rock. Even the Wikipedia, I found Čertova skála. Like, even Čertova skála even has, like, a whole, a list of other devil's rocks here. Not all of them have pages. This one does. Yeah. So there is a lot of them all around. Devil has been very busy. Okay. However, people, I have absolutely not expected to be streaming for almost 2 hours. And I would probably like to wind it slowly down, you know? Not that I'm like ending it right now, but maybe not start nothing new. I will send you the link right now before I forget, and if everybody else is interested, I might also, what would it be? I have it saved here. It probably does have some sort of subtitles because it's like a national TV, and they have by law to have their all the things that they produce to be accessible. So pretty sure it will have. Here. Here, I'm sending it to chat. I'm not sure, like, it's possible that it only works with like a Czech VPN, but a Czech IP address, but probably you can make it work with a VPN. But I'm also kind of like, it's probably gonna work anyway because, you know, why would they like hide it? And also Czech people, even like expatriates, have, again, by law the right to access the national TV because they pay taxes for it. So okay, let me send me the link. I've done it. Would love a presentation about Czech devil's rocks. I will make one. As I would like to make these presentations as I go, because I like really can't get like into the a secondary special interest within this, so that I can't now go, I want to learn all about devil's rocks, because then I will just like get sidetracked by 100 different things. So I promise I will make a presentation on devil's rock, but now I have to like go via my curriculum, make the presentations like on what I learn as I go, because otherwise it will be like one rabbit hole after the other and not the systematic thing that I'm like, you know, looking for. But I will do. I will do. I even have like a lot of legend books also, so that's no problem. We will have. But probably next one, a sneak peek after we're done. It seems to be wait, following things. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pigeons. No. No, it's going to be old names. That's probably not going to be It's for more birds, but yeah, pigeons and songbirds. Vlaštovka, I'm not sure what is in English. Let me look. I will just learn so much. Vlaštovka. There is a lot of entries on swallows. So maybe swallows and like other songbirds. I will make a note into my notes thing that people are requesting Devil's Rocks, and as I come across them, I will make notes. Devil's Rocks in scissor. I have written it into my asana. As soon as I get to some more Devil's Rocks, or we can like sprinkle a Devil's Rock into each presentation. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. This is officially my first very good best stream, okay? And thank you for being here with me for it. I enjoyed this very much. I really loved this. This was so much fun. Thank you for indulging me in reading you and mistranslating or like very badly translating you stuff, but I had fun. Next time I could also read just some more poems, and I plan on doing these every Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'll have a full presentation next Wednesday, depending on like how far I go. It's for sure not going to be the Devil's Rocks, but maybe some swallows and stuff. But or we can like read a little bit and translate some like interesting tidbits. And same time next week. Again, thank you so much for being part of my best live stream yet. As in like best feeling wise. I'm not sure about the quality of it, but the best as in this was fucking awesome best. I think so, Wonder. I think I want to do this like on a regular basis. One of I think I've said it in one of my other things. I want to do these streams because I want to like learn to speak well. And I want to normalize speaking. I want to normalize speaking on camera and just like practice rhetoric, practice just being like okay to just voice my thoughts and do stuff. So I really do want to do this every week. Not all of them will have value. Not all of them will be prepared, but I just want to like have a habit of like learning to speak and like get over like the discomfort of all of this. Because I think it's a good life skill for an introvert to have, to just be able to like talk, you know. Telling my community, oh my god, another. No. Okay, then the stakes now got higher. Today I was speaking to 3 of my friends. Next week I'll be speaking to 40,000 strangers, but there will be no 40,000. No, I'm joking. So yeah, my goal is to do it like every week in some form or another, to just like, you know, learn to speak, be comfortable, and let's see what happens. And if I can get like a normal YouTube video out of this, like when I cut it up into like normal pieces, then all the better for it. But yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will leave it here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to wash and go to bed because it's almost my bedtime here, because I go to sleep early and then wake up early. Thank you for being here, Melanie. I hope you you said you enjoyed it, so I'm not I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will keep enjoying it as much as I do, and I will see you next time. You probably sooner, or like we will talk probably sooner than next Wednesday, so probably to all of you. Okay. I'm ending this. Thank you so much.